Hey everyone, what's up, people? I hope all of you have been safe and doing good at your places because I'm also doing the same thing. And I'm really excited to be back and meet all you awesome people over here. So, yes, we are starting this session. Uh, but by the time, if you feel like I am not audible, although I am, because I can see the comments, so you can definitely mention in the comment section. Time by time, we'll be seeing up the comment section as well. Oh my god! So guys, you know what? Like today we have world finalists, like ICPC world finalists, the person who represented India. This statement actually gives you a goosebumps because I feel like I'm getting those type of thing. Okay, all right. So I can see like there are 350 people who are watching us live, but I can see like guys, if you are actually liking it, so just hit it at the like button because very soon Mayank will be joining us, and I'll be eventually more excited to welcome over here in this stream. But yes, guys, just hit that like button. Button, sorry. Just ignore my some of the mistakes, okay? All right. So today we'll be talking more or less about the competitive programming, how a candidate can actually get a benefit. Because maximum time there is a lot more queries from the people who say like, sir, I can go to a level, but I cannot go beyond that. So today we have an expert. We'll be discussing more or less on the same topic. So until then, I'm just waiting for some people more to join because I'm just waiting the number 500, the live viewing of 500, and because I can see the number is increasing. All right, guys, just hit it up the like button, and yes, do subscribe GeeksforGeeks channel because for the next 7 days you'll be getting some amazing people over here. They'll be discussing on multiple topics, and I can actually smell like people are live because today we are live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube as well. So if you're here from that platform, that's okay. That's okay. That's pretty much good. All right, guys. So already like Mayank is here, so I won't be boring you a lot. I'll just welcome Mayank in the stream. Hey Mayank, how are you? How are you, man?
Hi Ayushman, I'm good. Hi everyone.
So, Mayank, like today we have audience from various platforms, and they are really excited to know about the journey that you have been because you are already working with the topmost, I can say, the least hiring software company in India. Like that is like Tower Research, and you have been like a world finalist. So, before starting to the session, can you just give a little bit information about yourself to the audience?
Yeah, sure. So, hi everyone. I'm Mayank. I graduated from IT Kharagpur last year. My major was computer science and engineering. And since graduation, I've been working at Tower Research as low latency software developer.
All right, man. So, guys, we are starting this webinar. If some of your friends have still missed out, just ask them. They can join us, like because we have just started. All right, man. So we'll start this session. Like since I have few questions which already people are asking. Like these are the most important question I feel. So we have curated a list. So we'll be taking up those questions. Until then, also, guys, if you have some queries, keep mentioning on the comment section because in the later phases we'll definitely cover your queries what we'll be getting in the comment section as well. All right. So Mike, like one of the questions that is very popular, that is like when actually did you started competitive programming, or what is the ideal time for a candidate to start a competitive programming?
Okay. So, I was quite fortunate that I got introduced to computer programming at a pretty early stage. So, I was in class 11 and I came to know about an exam ZIO, which is Zonal Informatics Olympiad. And so I just gave the exam. I didn't know about the exam much. I just went and attempted it. And after I qualified the exam, I came to know that there's a second stage, INOI, which is Indian National Olympiad in Informatics, which is, and I found out that it is pretty similar to other Olympiads like Astronomy Olympiad, Physics Olympiad, but it is very less known. So, and that was the time basically I checked the past year question papers of INOI and I got really interested. And that was my first introduction to computer programming.
All right, Mayank. Thank you. So, guys, as Mayank said, Mayank was quite you can say lucky one. He started back in 11. But if you are, let's say, in your second year or third year, so would you feel like Mayank it will affect them if they start right now?
Uh, Honestly, no. So, what I have found out is that head starts don't really matter a lot in competitive programming. So, yeah, you
Sure.
have an initial advantage, but so even in my case, like, so after I got introduced to competitive programming in 11th, so I didn't get really chance to pursue it in class 12 because I was preparing for my entrance examinations for engineering.
True.
And
Agreed. Yeah.
so, so I picked it up again in my second semester in college, and I picked it up with a lot of my friends who were also just beginning, and many of them didn't even
All
have
right.
any programming experience before, but I found that they caught up pretty quickly. So I really don't think that the head start that I had had a lot of impact in my getting whatever success I had in computer programming.
Perfect. Perfect. That's really amazing. That's really amazing, man. So, Mike, you have represented India in ICPC. So, being very honest, like although I hope 90% of the audience who have joined us, they might know what's the process of ICPC. But just can you just brief them how someone can apply for ICPC in for initial 30 or 40 seconds?
Sure. So ICPC is basically a team contest. So all the three members of the team need to be from the same college, and so you register, and there's an online round. So generally, the top teams from a college qualify from the online round, and after that, there are on-site regionals. So there are 4 or 5 different regionals in India, and we have to go on site and prepare and participate there. And that generally the top 2 teams from each on-site qualify for the world finals.
All right, man. So now we have talked about like what is the actual event or like what's the competition that we have been preparing. That is ICPC. So again, the most important thing that comes in our mind is like what is actually a mindset a candidate need to have, or let's say a preparational mode. What a preparation mode should a candidate need to have a proper mindset for ICPC?
Okay. So there are basically 2 parts to it. One is individual preparation, like where you are trying to get better yourself, and the other is getting better as a team. So like when you're starting, so initially you need to basically practice a lot. And like in my case, what I found was giving contests is the best way to go. Like give a lot of contests, and that is one way to improve. So that is one way to improve yourself, and after that also participate in team contests. So like as in our case, we used to give a weekly contest every week. So it was a 5 hour long contest, and we used to sit together and attempt the contest. Because in ICPC, in a team, like there are 3 members, but you only get one computer to program. So it is very necessary to have good rapport in between the team members.
All right, guys. So for guys, if you are targeting for ICPC, you need a team. So and eventually, see, I always prefer this thing when you are coding, just code in groups because it will actually help you to enhance your learning only. Okay. All right. So my next question is like it's actually a very usual question. Like maximum time, like the first question that any candidate have in his or her mind is like which language should I prefer, whether it's C++, it's Java, or it's Python for CP.
Okay. So as far as CP is concerned, I think C++ is the best choice to go for. And the reason is because like Python and Java are slightly slower than C++, which is not a very big reason because generally in contests for if you are coding in Python or Java, so the time limit is appropriately increased for solutions in Python or Java. However, the biggest advantage of using C++ is that most of the good competitive programmers right now use C++. So if you go and see the editorials and you see the solutions, you'll find that most of them are in C++. So if you're already using C++, it will be much easier for you to follow them.
All right, man. That's actually more insightful. So, guys, I can see few of the comments that are coming about the placement preparation. So, guys, today is not a right webinar for the placement preparation because today we are discussing about competitive programming. But yes, I can say like placement preparation and competitive programming are somewhat relatable. But let's keep that part aside and for other webinars. So, Mayank, the next question that comes in my mind is like, yep, how actually even one of the candidates put it up, how actually the mathematics is important for competitive programming.
So in competitive programming, like having a basic level of mathematics knowledge is pretty important. Like it's not like you need to know advanced calculus or linear algebra. So that's not really required, but having a basic fundamentals and having basically basic logic and problem solving skills is something that is required, and that is something that you also develop while you are doing competitive programming.
All right, all right. So, Mike, let's. I hope like now we are on a stage where we can actually put it up a roadmap for a person who is looking for ICPC or such type of events of competitive programming. So, one is definitely one should need to start. Second is we have already answered about the language part, and third we have told about the prerequisite that was a little much amount of mathematics. So now coming on the same pace, so what you feel like will be the next thing that someone should keep in his stack?
Sorry.
I'm saying we have talked about the languages, then we
Mhm.
have talked about the mathematics. So what will be the next thing that someone should focus upon, whether it is data structures, algorithm, or some STL file? So what do you prefer?
Okay, so when you are just starting, I think having a basic idea of STL is pretty important because so basically I should just give you a brief overview of STL. So STL contains a lot of commonly used data structures which are already implemented and you can just go and use them. So what I found is that when people are just starting and they are starting to learn about STL, they tend to get very overwhelmed with the large amount of data structures that are there and the syntax and the format to use them. So, so my so my recommendation would be that uh, just take a quick overview of STL and find out what are the different data structures that are there, and after that when you are trying to attempting contests and you're trying to solve problems at that time when you will see some pattern and you realize that okay, maybe I can use that STL container, and at that time you can go through the documentation and you can learn basically what function you have to use. So you don't need to remember everything at the start. Like that is something that will come as in when you practice and you use those STL, you use STL in your solving problems.
All right, man. So, guys, we came to know like that is like now the STL. So with STL, like there is something that I saw today itself. So I just want to showcase all of you, and in fact, I just want to have a small game over here. So for that, I'm just sharing my screen. Allow me a moment, guys. Just a second. Sorry, I'm just taking a bit late. Perfect. I think I'm the screen. I'm on the screen. So, guys, this is the Geeks for Geeks page, like the Geek Week page specifically. So, how you can reach to this page? Simply, I'll be sharing the URL over here, first of all. Second thing, you can see like this is the whole page of the 7-day event that we have planned. So, just have a look around it. So, what we'll be going to do in these 7 days, all the things are mentioned over here specifically. You know what? Like we have three partners as well. Like one is CoinSearch, Baveproof, and Dineout. When I heard these three names, like one thing that comes in my mind was uh, once Steve Jobs said, "Be hungry, be foolish." And today, guess what? GFG have both the things: Dineout and Baveproof. Chronology, समझो भाई. All right. So next up is the Star Night, and I hope like you can cover coming up to this page itself. Let's move down quickly and towards the section like what I just want to say. There are various events you can see and you can take part in it. Yeah. So this was one thing like I plan to do here. So Mike, this is a small sort of you can say a guess and win sort of thing. So here the course price is written that is like 10x9. So we just need to predict the value of x. So what do you think? Let's try your luck first. What should I enter in the place of x over here?
0.
0. Okay. Oh, that's incorrect, man. One more chance.
9.
9. Ah, your guess was wrong. Chalo, not an issue. I think, guys, you can try and look up this thing once. Although Mayank failed, but that's okay. Sure. Let's back to the session. So, guys, the next question that I have mind for you is like, what do you feel? Let's say we have seen like when someone is preparing for their initial stages, there are multiple number of and there are a couple number of things that are available. But once a candidate is preparing for their, you can say the regionals or for their finalists, let's say the world finalists or even Asia finalists. So at that time, like, what's the major difference that you have felt in your preparation, or maybe what is the guideline you can share for the preparation?
Like for the regionals.
Exactly. Let's talk about reasons first.
Okay, so as I told, so regionals is a team contest. So when you're preparing for regionals, it's very important that you're working as a team. And there's another thing, since you're working as a team, it also gives you an advantage that you can divide the topics in between you. So there are a lot of advanced topics which might be important for on-site regionals, and it's not really possible for one person to cover all of them. So generally in a team, like you can have one person who is pretty good at maths. So you can decide that, okay, you can cover the maths related topics. There's one person who is pretty good with data structures. So he can cover some data structures, or if he's pretty good with strings, so he can cover like different algorithms and data structures related to strings. So in this way, you can divide advanced data structures and algorithms among yourself, and that is something that when you're working as a team, so that is something basically divide. This is what is divide and conquer.
All right. So we talked about the reason part, and I hope like this is the same strategy happens in the Asia finalist rounds as well.
Yeah, so we follow the same strategy, I think, in when we are regionals as well as when we are working for world
Right.
finals.
All right. All right. So guys, I have one question for the people who are in audience. So that is like, guys, just let me know like how many teams have qualified for the world finalist in 2019 from India. Just check, and Mayank will tell us the number afterwards, maybe. All right. So Mayank, I can see like one question over here that I think like let's cover this question first of all. So question is from Prashant G. Yes, I started CPO 1 month ago and regularly use 3 to 4 problems. Every next day I see a question, I need to see the solution as I mostly couldn't find out the solution. Is it regular for who is new, or I need to do something? So first, let's answer the first part of it.
Okay. Like, yeah, so this is pretty common. Like, this happens to a lot of people. And I think the reason for this is that, like, you're solving 3 to 4 problems every day. But the point is, which 3 to 4 problems are you solving? Are you solving all the problems of the same type, or are you solving all the problems from the same difficulty level? So that is something that might need to change.
All
So
right.
So my recommendation is that, like, what I used to do was I used to give a lot of contests, and I used to follow the practice of upsolving. So upsolving is basically solving the least difficult problem that you could not solve during the contest after the contest. So every time, like let's say you are only solving able to solve two problems in a contest, so take the third most easiest problem and try to attempt it and solve it after the contest. Like try give it some time. If it doesn't work out, then you can see the editorial, but after that code it yourself. So
All
that is
right.
one way you will always improve.
All right. So I hope we have answered your question, Prasanji. So the best key is like just keep practicing, and this is not a new thing for you. Every programmer used to feel such type of situations, so that's okay. Guys, one of the people is asking like, can we make a team for ICPC from other campuses as well, or the students should be from the same campus?
Yeah, it's a requirement that all the students should be from the same campus, because you're not only representing the country in World Finals, you're also representing your college.
True, true, true. All right. So guys, you need students from the same campus. Yes, guys, the recording of this session will be definitely going to available after this session. But if you have some questions, so might be in the later phases, we won't be able to answer you. All right. So do you have any idea, Mike, like this year will be ICPC schedule?
Uh, I'm not sure. I don't think the schedule is out yet, because
Okay.
it's a lot of logistics issues right now, like how they are going to do everything online.
Guys, eventually, let's say if you feel the ICPC is out, you can just explore the web. All the things are available over there. You can just have a cross check over there. All right. Perfect. Now moving to the next part, where I have some more questions that already some of the users have asked us. So uh, actually, the next question that I am putting, it's the most commonly asked question. So that is sometimes whenever our candidates at a question,
Hmm.
is it advisable from your end to seek help from a mentor or through any of the courses, or like to seek any help from any other someone else? Do you feel that?
Okay, so let's say you get stuck on a question. So sometimes what happens is that you tried for some time, and like you're not getting any ideas at all. So, and if you're not able to make any progress and you feel that this is not something you can solve, like it's fine. Like you can go through the tutorial, or you can seek someone's help. Maybe don't ask for the full solution. You can just ask for some hints, and maybe use those
Perfect.
hints to come up with the solution. And apart from that, there are some problems like which you feel that you're very close to coming up with the solution, but you can't crack that final piece. So, and for those solutions questions, I think that it's fine. Like you can attempt, keep that question at the back of your mind for a couple of days. Maybe you can just uh, like this is what I used to do, that I used to just keep the link of the problem saved in a Google Doc, and I would leave it there and maybe come back to it after a month or so when I have more fresh ideas. So because when you're able to solve such kind of problems, it really boosts your confidence.
All right. So guys, this is one of the actually key point that what Mayank have mentioned. So you can actually keep that question saved in your doc or somewhere else, which wherever you want. And in the later phases, you can definitely give a walkthrough. All right. So Mayank, one of the interesting question I not interesting, basically a funny question that was, what are the best way to improve competitive programming other than hard work? So do you feel any other way? Because I cannot. I don't.
Like I would say it's very hard work. Like if you're enjoying competitive
Uh,
programming, it will all be a lot of fun, because it's a lot of
sure.
adrenaline rush and it's really exciting giving contests. Like I understand that practicing is kind of boring, but if you're giving contests and you're just up solving, which is enough, and that is also very fun and exciting.
All right. Mike, I have one question for you. That is usually what happened at CP and in placement. The major difference is like the time, because at CP when you are sitting, you have 4 hour to 6 hour long contest over there. But at placement session, there is only let's say 1 hour or 90 minutes sort of session. So how a candidate can actually prioritize their things. Let's say if someone is preparing for CP, And the second part, that is if someone is preparing for placements.
So, okay, so the algorithms and data structures which are part of a placement preparation, that is a subset of all the algorithms and data structures that we encounter in CP. So what I feel is that if you're good
Sure.
at CP, you would already be good at basically cracking the problems that come in placement tests. However, like if you don't have a lot of time and you want to like just focus on placement preparation, like you can do that as well. However, it's just a small subset of competitive programming, and being good at solving placement types of problems doesn't mean you will be very good at competitive programming as well.
All right. That's perfect. So now one question that I can see is just a moment. Yeah. So Himanshu is asking, hello, Mayank sir, what kind of career build is there for someone who has completely immersed himself in CP?
Okay. So yeah, this is something that a lot of people ask me, like they say, tell me that competitive programming is probably useless, like it's not very helpful in real world. But I think it's like asking what's the use of competitive programming is the same as asking what's the use of cricket or what's the use of playing chess. Like that question doesn't really make sense. Like there are a lot of skills that you build when you're doing CP. So your problem solving skills increase. You get better at data structures and algorithms, and you get better at writing code, bug-free code at a very fast pace. And that is something that you carry forward when you enter any career in programming.
True, agreed, completely agreed. So Himanshu, like the thing is, if you're looking for a career, so CP is actually something that can be actually a catalyst, can act as a catalyst for your placement preparation as well. Because if you are doing CP, so already somehow like your 75 to 80% of the placement preparation is almost done. Am I correct, Mike?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, true. So there is one more section of question that is coming around like about the platforms. So can you just let me know like if there is any specific platform one should target?
Yeah, if for there are a lot of resources online available, like some of the resources like GeeksforGeeks is of course one of them. There's code forces, there's codechef, and there's hackerrank.
All right, all right. So guys, you can use any one of them. Start with Geeks for Geeks. If you are looking harder and preparing very hard, move toward CodeChef or Code Forces. You can definitely go ahead and prepare over there. And if you are just a beginner, so there are a few more things that are coming up. First of all, go with the language part. Go with STLs, data structures and algorithm. And lastly, move to some of the advanced level question. All right, Mike, one more thing I have addressed, that is like most of the times people generally like stuck somewhere in topics like graph trees or maybe let's say dynamic programming. So do you have any idea like how someone can improve those type of concepts?
Like yeah, so as far as dynamic programming is concerned, yeah, like initially it takes a bit of time to get the thought process right, and there's no really shortcut. Like you have to practice a lot of problems, and so
True.
dynamic programming is pretty vast. So and so you for dynamic programming you can do topic wise preparation, like you can check a list of questions that just about dynamic programming and build the thought process. Once you have the thought process, you will find that it's very easy to come up basically with how basically the state, how to define the state to solve the problem.
All right. One question again from my side to you is like, what is actually it's somewhat you can answer from your personal experience. So, what is actually the difference of the tag that is a world finalist? So, how actually people are looking you when you are just in your campus, although you have been from a most prominent campus of India at IIT Kharagpur. So, what you were at that time and when you represented India, So what actually the difference that you have felt in your community?
Well, I think the difference is huge. Like that tag does matter, and it does opens a lot of doors and opportunities for you. Like I'm always flooded with a lot of recruiter emails on my LinkedIn, and basically, like they are obviously coming to me for most of the times. They are coming for me for because I'm a world finalist, and that's why they want me to. They want to know what exactly I want to work on. So yeah, I think obviously the ID tag also helps, but I think it has also World Finance has also opened a lot of doors
Sure.
for me.
All right. So, guys, you know what? Like, world finalist is a tag. Like, specifically, any company wants you to work with them, whether it's Google, Facebook. So, also right now, Mayank is working with one of the most prominent company in India, Tower Research. So they hardly hire freshers. But I hope, Mayank, it was your first job, I guess. So.
Yeah, actually, I would like to add that I applied for Google internships in my third year, and at that time I didn't have World Finals, so and I didn't even get chance to interview. And like after I got to World Finals in my the start of my fourth year, a recruiter from Google basically sent me a mail that they want to
Oh
interview
wow,
me for the role. So yeah, so it does open a lot
guys!
of doors.
Sure. Guys, see the difference. Before world finalists, Mayank didn't get a call from for an interview. After world finalists, the recruiter themselves pinged Mayank for an interview. So because he has represented India, like so that means he was amongst the top 10 or top 20 brains in India who are going uh, for the programming to represent India. All right, that's perfect. So one question that comes around is like, what do you feel actually, Mike? Because how someone can manage competitive programming with their college studies? Do you have any idea about it? Like,
Like yeah, so yeah, so management always becomes very important. Like, of course, like when you're studying in a college, so there would be some breaks in between. Like when, for example, when you are having exams or some tests, so during that duration you cannot really do computer programming. But I think apart from that, like on normal days, it's not very difficult to f- take out a couple of hours to do competitive on a daily basis.
sure,
And like if you're
all right.
really motivated and you're really interested, you can find time for that.
Mhm. All right. Mike, one more thing that is like when you build up your team at IIT Kharagpur, so what were the things that was in your mind, or let's say how actually you have taken up the people in your team, or let's say how you have built up the team to go for the ICPC event?
Okay, so when I so when I created my team in the second year, so basically I was looking for, so I knew that I'm good at maths, so I was looking for people who are like better at implementation, and that's how I formed my team in my second year. And like that's always the idea. Like if you're weak in something, you're trying to find people who can compensate for that. And basically you want a very well balanced team. You don't want all the three people to be very good at maths but not like they are okayish in algorithms and data structures.
Sure. All right. All right. Perfect. Do you feel, man, like have you came across any of the myth about competitive programming?
uh, so like one of the myths that people initially have is that, so when they are just starting college and they don't have like idea about algorithms and data structures, so people are like they will do one course like thoroughly. They will wait for their college to have the algorithms and data structures course in their second year, and after that they will start competitive programming. Or there are some people who are like they will start studying Colvin, which is the main algorithms and data structures book, which we call the Bible for algorithms and data structures. So they are like they start reading Colvin and they start solving all the exercise problems. And what I feel is that you are just pro- in a way procrastinating. You're delaying basically participating in contests and getting your hands dirty, and that is something that you should avoid. Like there's nothing wrong with going to common, but at the same time, you should be also attempting contests. And and then similarly, if you are doing some course, like you should not wait for the algorithms and data structures course in your college. I think there are a lot of good online courses already available, and you can attempt any one of them. At the same time, you can also participate in contests and do computer programming.
All right, all right. So, guys, some of the people are asking about the books for CP. So, do you have any book specifically for CP? Because for data structures and algorithm, you have already mentioned a book. For CP,
Yeah,
do you feel there is any need of a book?
like there is a good book like from, I don't remember the author, like that. The book's name is Computer Programming 1, 2, and 3. The third section just came up.
All right,
I don't really remember the. I think it was Stephen
not
Hallam
an
or
issue.
something. But yeah, so that is a fine book. It's not a very thick book. Like it's a very simple book, and it only covers some important topics that reoccur in computer programming.
All right, all right. Mayank, so now you are working in the industry. Are you still in competitive programming, or you right now also you just give some of the events? You take part in it?
Like yeah, obviously I don't get a lot of time to do computer programming very actively, but
Yeah.
like so sometimes like it has been a month or so, I myself feel that probably I should give a contest. It has been a long time and I want to feel that adrenaline rush in giving a contest. So from time to time I attempt some contests.
All right, all right. So guys, see, if you made competitive programming as your passion, so you'll definitely be achieving a lot more success in your career. At least I must say, like, although all of you cannot go to world finalists, but at least you should start doing programming. You don't know, like, wherever and whenever you can get a good chance, and eventually competitive programming can help you in your career opportunities as well. Mike, do you feel like is college play some role in the events like ICPC? Let's say if
uh,
there is a person who is from IIT, or if there is a person who is from a tier 3 campus.
I think individually it doesn't really make any difference because like
Sure.
in college there are not any specific courses to prepare you for competitive programming. However, I
Okay.
think the peer group does help. So even if you are in a tier 3 college, you should you can find people who are like-minded and who are also interested, and you can basically practice and work together.
All right. So again, guys, this was my actually this was one of the myth because people used to have this myth back of their mind. I am from a tier 3 campus. I cannot go to such event. So guys, there is nothing like that. You can eventually apply for such type of events. But the only thing is you need to practice and you need to be good at competitive programming. All right, guys. Again and again, people are asking about placement preparation. So today we are not answering the placement preparation question because we have multiple events coming in the subsequent days. You can definitely ask over there. All right. My one more thing that comes in my mind is like usually people have mentioned like for CP when they used to prepare. So sometimes they lag behind in some of their data structures and algorithm concepts. So I think because it's pretty much sure like someone should learn data structures and algorithm. So there is any more thing that you want to add up if someone can easily learn those data structures and algorithms?
Okay, so like if you already know that there is a particular data structure algorithm that you are not familiar with or not comfortable with, you can always Google, search on them on Google, and like you can find a lot of resources online. There are resources on Geeks for Geeks, and there are also tutorials on and blogs on code forces and top coders. So there are already a lot of resources available
Sure.
online, and if you already know that this is something you don't know, you can always find resources to learn.
All right. Okay, I think like one of the student have answered the name of the book that you might be looking up. So just confirm, are you talking about the same book?
Yeah, yeah. common.
All right, guys. All right. So thank you, Aditya. Thanks for mentioning the name. That's perfect. All right, guys. Like, if you have questions, you can definitely ask. We are waiting for your question in the comment section. Uh, People are asking like Python is growing rapidly. What do you feel like in future people will be coding in Python for CP, or they'll be stuck? They'll be just stuck with C++. What do you
Like
feel like, with your honest opinion?
honestly, I think that CPP is not going anywhere because I work at Tower and we dominantly use CPP. So each language has its own pros and cons. Like Python is easy to
Agree.
use, but CPP basically is the fastest language that is available and that gives you more control over what you want to do.
Perfect.
So
So, Mike, yeah, you were saying something.
yeah, so like I don't think CPP is going anywhere. Yeah, Python is getting very popular because it's easy to learn and easy to start using, and it's very helpful when you're doing machine learning. But CPP has also its own users, and it's not going to get replaced by Python.
All right, perfect. So, one of the student is asking like, how can someone build a strong foundation for CP?
Okay. So, so basically, okay, I can just summarize what I have already said in other answers.
Definitely. Yeah.
So if you are like completely unaware about algorithms and data structures, you can you can go through any one course from one of the top universities in the world, like from MIT or Stanford. Like you can just go through the algorithms and data structures course. So apart from that, like it's the most important part is giving a lot of contests. So give a lot of contests and then upsolve. Like if you just give the contest and then don't upsolve, like basically solve the least difficult problem which you couldn't solve during the contest, you will not improve. Like you will just realize that you're always able to solve the two or three easiest questions and you're not able to improve. So upsolve, you need to
Sure.
upsolve as well.
All right. Mike, one more question I have for you. That is, let's say if a problem is coming in front of you, whether it's a contest or if you're normally practicing. So, what is your ideal approach? How do you approach a problem?
Okay. So what I feel is that sometimes having the idea of the difficulty of the problem also helps. Like you get a basic idea that from what level you should start thinking, and after that, basically you try to reduce the problem. Like because a lot of times the problem statement is pretty big, but what they're asking you to do is pretty minimal. So try to minimize the problem statement and fit it into your head, like what exactly they're asking you to do, and then you try to reduce it into something that you already know. So you know the algorithms and data structures are fundamentals, and the problems basically are slight variations of those. So you try to reduce them into the standard format, and the reduction is the main part. Once you have reduced them, after that it's something that is you have to just code it out, and if you are practicing regularly, you can do it pretty quickly.
All right. Mike, do you have any advice for the people who are from non-CSE branch?
Like as far as competitive is concerned, like I don't think non-CSE branch people are at any disadvantage compared to CSE people. So as I said, like you should you, even for CSE people, you don't really need to wait for your second year of college to get ideas of to basically learn algorithms and data structures. You can already do it in your first year itself. So the same thing non-CSE people can also do, and once you have done the course, the basic, and you have your fundamentals. Like after apart from that, it's all about practice and pursuing CP.
All right. So, guys, people who are not from CSE background, from EC, Triple E, Civil, Mechanical. So, as already Mayank said, like even our candidate who are in CSE or IT, they don't need to wait because in usually in colleges, DSA or data structures or maybe algorithms, they comes usually in second year or in the fourth or fifth semester. So if you are someone who is actually passionate about coding, just start because on internet there are wide number of resources that are available. So you can consider some of them, and eventually one of the resources that GFG as well. Like if you are looking for a systematic learning, like one of the CP programmer Striver, he is a mentor with GFG. So if you want, you can look up or take a help from your coach as well. Like there is no harm in it. One question is from Sri Ramji. Apart from weekly contests, is there any strategy how you guys practice as a team? Do you guys? I think you already answered this thing, man. But
Yeah.
if you want to add up something,
Like yeah, so in it, if you are really aiming for world finals, like the basic topics should be known to everyone. Like everyone should know DP, everyone should know like TFS, BFS, obviously. But like for the advanced topics, that is something that you can split among the team members and prepare accordingly.
all right. So, Mayank, there are some questions. If it's totally on you, if you wish to answer, you can. Do Tower Research Capital look for the CP background when they come for hiring?
Um, so they are basically looking for someone who stands apart from the crowd. So it's not necessary that you have
Correct.
to be very good at CP, but that can help.
True.
Like if you're very good at CP.
True. That's pretty much good. Alka, should I jump to CP from Java? Alka, it's totally on you. If you are planning for a computer programming, although there is no hard and fast need that you didn't need to switch to CPP, but if you feel you just want to take the best advantage of the languages, so switch to C. That's the only thing. All right. I see like there are questions which are coming up repetitively. So guys, we have already answered maximum of the question. If you still have some question, just rewind back the webinar and you can look up. Yes, team member should be from the same college. And I'm actually getting the repeated question. All right. So Mayank, let's speak about one last thing, that is, let's say if someone is targeting, so what do you actually feel like? What is your advice? How much one should devote the time for CP in their regular days? What amount of time?
So like it depends like what you're targeting basically. So if you are targeting to go to world finals, like on normal days we should be devoting I think 3 to 4 hours. Like if you're
All right.
targeting to get very good at CP and go to the regionals, I think a contest a day, attempt a contest every 1 or 2 days. Like so basically 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours in 2 days is also fine.
All right. All right. That's perfect. So, guys, there is one more thread that is going up in the comment section. This is specifically for you. So some people are asking, should I do only CP, left web development or project development? Guys, it's one's personal interest. If you want to do it, go it. Like there is no harm in it. If you are interested for CP, so in that case, you should start pursuing it. What do you say about it, Mayank?
Yeah, I think it's good to explore a lot of things. I think like
Yeah.
you should also explore CP and get a basic knowledge. And if you think it's not something that interests you a lot, you can always also do development stuff. But you should give CP a chance as well.
All right. So Sonali is asking in which language Mayank sir code.
Uh, I code in C++,
All right.
like for CP,
So
and
usually,
like in my company work, I code in both C++ and Python.
All right, perfect. Uh, just last piece of advice again for a person, because I feel like we should take his question. I'm in final year. Is it possible to start CP now and crack a product-based company, or is it too late?
I think it's never too late. Yeah, you need to work
True.
harder because you're starting very late, but it's always possible to do it.
All right, all right, perfect. So my mind, I think is JSS self-paced course good enough? It's question for me. Part for CP. Yeah, I think Mahima, like for data structures and then eventually the algorithm part, it's completely okay. This course is from end to end. That's perfect. Oh, Mayank, how we can measure progress in CP?
Okay.
I think just a small add up. So what I believe is like you can check your rank on the various platforms. What do you feel?
Yeah, I think the rank or your ratings on various platforms is the best measure, and you should take it pretty seriously. Like, uh, like in our case, like it should not be like that you don't really care about your ratings on various platforms. Like you just attempt a question and then you are like, okay, I don't want to give this contest anymore, and you just get out. You should take it pretty seriously.
True. Agreed. Completely agreed. Yeah, that part. All right. So, Mayank, I hope like we have answered the maximum questions, and more or less, people, if you have some important question, like because we have already answered maximum of your question, you can just rewind back and watch the webinar. All right. So, Mike, I have few more like we are moving just about towards the last section of this discussion. That is the rapid fire round, in which like you just need to answer a single word answer. Okay. All right. So here I go. So first question: favorite movie.
Mm. Pursuit of happiness.
Okay. Pursuit to happiness. Favorite food. Yeah. It's already dinner time.
Pizza.
Pizza. All right. Next, I can sense the answer of the next question, but still, I'll just ask from you: CP
Mm.
or projects?
For me, it's CP.
Already, like I know. Who was your ideal growing up?
Um,
Come on. Be faster, man.
Richard Feynman.
All right. Ha. One important question, because I personally specifically designed this question for you. That is, if let's say you are not a programmer, so what profession you want to pursue?
Okay. Scuba diving instructor, maybe.
Perfect, man. Like it's actually it can be a dream for many of us. That's something very cool. Sounds good. All right, perfect. So the last question from my side, that is a morning person or a night owl?
Oh, night out, definitely.
I think like all the people who go for campuses, who do programming, coders are generally night owls. What do you feel?
Yeah.
I hope your friends are also like that.
Yeah. I don't know a morning person.
All right, perfect. So, Mayank, let's say if people want to reach back to you, so what could be a platform like where they can reach back to you? Can people approach you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I think LinkedIn is the best platform to approach me. Yeah.
All right. All right, guys. So those who are searching out for Mayank, you can just search Mayank Khetan on LinkedIn, and you can land up on his profile. Perfect. So Mayank, I think like we have answered the questions maximum. So just before saying a goodbye, do you have any last piece of advice you want to give to the audience who are here with us?
Uh, so yeah, just keep yourself motivated and keep working hard and try to enjoy the process. Don't take it as a core. Like just enjoy the process, and it's not that hard. You can do it.
All right, Mayank, thank you very much. You joined us, and special thanks to all the people who joined us today here. So, if you want to figure out Mayank's code chef food forces ranking, just search on internet, guys. You'll be definitely getting it. Uh, rest, I think we have covered all the question, and thank you very much, Mayank. You joined us, and it was a very great session. Thanks all of you to join us. And lastly, shout out to all the GFG members who have been continuously working hard for the event. And specifically, guys, if you are looking for the event, just check it out the page that we were on it. That is a GeekWeek event. You will be getting the link in the description. All right, guys. See you later. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you so much.